Hello, I'm Danny. This is Sam. This is the first video we have ever done in our lives.
And we've been sat here like with a notepad and pen trying to work out what we're going to say because we feel like we've got a lot of information on consciousness, spirituality, psychology, and we're just trying to work out the best format to start our video. So we thought we'd start by saying that because we are going to be about sort of being authentic and trying to keep it real. So we thought, why pretend that we actually know what we're going to talk about
Yeah.
when we don't?
We are struggling trying to put ourselves across. This is what we're all about, actually. It's about owning who you are and letting yourself know that, hey, wow, it's okay. We're struggling a little bit. We're happy with that, yeah.
Because we're not perfect,
No,
and
we're not.
you don't have to be either.
But we are imperfectly perfect. And exactly the same as you, we are right where we are supposed to be at this point in time. Yeah, so basically, we are here to let you know that there is a massive, very, very important bridge between psychotherapy and spirituality. And this is what our teachings are going to be about. You cannot have one without the other. If you want to move forward, you want to understand yourself, then you have to let one or the other. If you come from a scientific world, then you have to surrender to spirituality. If you come from a spirituality, a world of spirituality, then you have to let a little bit of science in as well. And it's about finding that balance.
And when we're talking about science, we're sort of mainly talking about science of the mind and psychology and the impact and the imprint of your past, because unless you understand that, then you're not going to be able to move past those points and triggers that are keeping you held in your past. So we're trying to reach an audience where we're guessing that if you're watching this, you've already aware what an awakening is, and so many people on the planet are going through that at the moment. And we want to be able to sort of show you the next step, because what we're sort of seeing more and more in the world is people are waking up, especially in the spiritual community where they have a good awareness of what's going on. But they're also finding more than ever they're still sort of stuck in these patterns of behavior and sort of triggers from the past that they're not able to kind of move through very well, and they're aware of what's happening, but still it's like a magnet pulling them back into the past. And we just believe that without like a good understanding of psychology, you're not going to be able to release yourself from that, because the subconscious mind, which is where all that happens, is so much more powerful than the conscious mind. So it can be an incredibly frustrating place for people that are aware that they're awakening but don't really know, the next move. It can help people can feel in quite a helpless and frustrated place. So we want to be able to sort of shed some light on that.
I think you pretty much said it all, Sam.
That's a grand statement.
I know.
I
No.
don't think I said it. I don't think I said
We're
it.
basically we're trying to set something up as well where you can speak to us and we can speak to you. We understand what's going on at the moment, and that there is a massive shift in consciousness, and yeah, basically everybody knows they've got stuff coming up, but nobody knows what to do with it. And that's why we're here. That's pretty much it.
And yeah, and basically it's only something that I've really in the last few years become really conscious of, because although I believe that I came into this world as like a quite a conscious being, and I've always believed sort of in spirituality, in something bigger, in energy, everything. But it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I did a course in counselling and became a qualified counsellor, that I realised just how much the two go hand in hand, how psychology and spirituality go hand in hand. And I was experiencing the same problems, you know. Let me just give an example. One of the main examples and themes in my life was sort of the relationship theme of constantly being with a man that was unemotional and unavailable. And I knew before I did my counselling course that that was because of my dad. My dad was emotionally unavailable, and there was something unresolved there that I needed to look at, that I felt that I'd looked at in many different ways, but still hadn't got to the bottom of what it was. So therefore I was pulled back there every time. So it wasn't until I did the counselling course that I realised exactly where that had come from, and also how to go into it and look at it in order to shift those unresolved feelings from the past. And that was what was missing before, the ability to deal with emotions in the correct way, and that involved a whole lot of deprogramming.
So how would you say that's changed your life, going in and being able to do this work? What has that done for you?
Well, going into it, I mean, a lot of it, when I looked at it, was unresolved pain from the past of basically never having the dad that I wanted, and not having the ability as a child to understand or even process those emotions. So what happens is a part of yourself at that time becomes split off, an aspect of yourself. It's like a part of your mentality shuts it away, because it you know, any child doesn't have the ability to deal with that, and then that's how it pops up later in your relationships. But actually gaining the clarity on that and being able to look at it enabled me to actually let go of those painful feelings, and manifest Mr. Available.
Well, hey.
Yeah, it does work.
Believe it or not, course of events which have led me to Sam are pretty much a complete reflection of where Sam was coming from. So I had a pathological narcissist as a mother. She was pretty severe. It was quite an abusive psychological upbringing. I just had relationships with narcissists my whole life, which made me a complete codependent. But I have to own my part, realise that both coming from the same places, but just different ends of the spectrum. So Sam got me doing a lot of work. When I met Sam, I how can I say it without I would get crazy stories popping up in my head. I was suffering for the first time ever with jealousy, things like this. So rather than throwing those things onto Sam, I went inside myself and I owned these things and said, hang on, wait a minute, you know, this is a story playing itself out. This is absolutely crazy. You can't be thinking like this. Where is this coming from? And what do I do with it? How do I deal with it? And being able to talk and communicate with each other and be completely non-judgmental enables you both to go in and do that work on yourself and repair the wounds which, you know, would have been created either lifetimes ago or when you were a small child.
So what you're seeing in the present in the relationship is actually a projection from your past. It's not about the other person. It's about something that happened to you in the past that is now becoming activated due to something triggering you in the present. So it's like the past being superimposed onto the present. And if you're able to just see that, then it not only helps you, but it helps your relationship to grow, because you're not stuck in a blaming game, not blaming each other for each other's triggers. But that's something we're going to go into like more in our other videos. I mean, really, this is just about introducing ourselves and saying what we're about and where we're actually coming from, and for you to just understand a little bit about our background and how we got to being where we are now and doing this video.
Yeah, basically also this will massively help you within finding Mr. or Mrs. Right, but more important than anything, this is gonna make you realise who you are and different aspects of yourself, which will change your confidence, it will change the way you look at life, could completely change the path which you're going in. But basically this will help you find who you are authentically and learn to love yourself again.
It's about freeing yourself from all of your constraints from the past, from the constraints of society, from false beliefs, imprisoning behaviours that aren't natural to you. It's about you finding your true, authentic self, and we'll try and be as authentic as possible with you as well.
What we'd like to do as well, we'll leave questions and answers.
If there's a topic you'd like us to discuss or hear us talk about, then leave a comment, and we'll do our best to kind of answer that for you.
Yeah, we want to hear where you are, your life situation at the moment, what you might be dealing with, and we'll sit down and talk about it, and we'll explain how we deal with it and what steps we would take. And then if you apply this to your life, I swear to you now, you will notice such a change almost immediately. So, rock and roll.
Yeah, so I think that's about it from us. So just watch out for our other videos, which will be up very soon.
Yeah, okay. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.